You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself and your way of thinking. Today, I escaped anxiety. I discarded it because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside. If it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together. Do so with all your heart. Confine yourself to the present. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Whatever happens to you has been waiting to happen since the beginning of time. To live happily is an inward power of the soul. You can commit injustice by doing nothing. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Do every act of your life as if it were your last. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. The first step, don't be anxious. Nature controls it all. The second step, concentrate on what you have to do. Fix your eyes on it, and remind yourself that your task is to be a good human being. Remind yourself what nature demands of people, then do it without hesitation, and speak the truth as you see it with kindness, with humility, without hypocrisy. Don't be overheard complaining, not even to yourself. Do not be perturbed, for all things are according to the nature of the universe, and in a little time, you will be nobody and nowhere. True good fortune is what you make for yourself. Good fortune, good character, good intentions, good actions. Let not your mind run on what you lack as much as on what you already have. Objective judgment. Now at this very moment. Unselfish action. Now at this very moment. Willing acceptance. Now at this very moment of all external events. That's all you need. Almost nothing material is needed for a happy life, for he who has understood existence. Receive wealth or prosperity without arrogance, and be ready to let it go. For God's sake, stop honoring externals. Quit turning yourself into the tool of mere matter, or people who can supply you, or deny you those material things. A man, when he has done a good act, does not call out for others to come and see, but goes on to another act, as a vine goes on to produce more grapes in season. Is any man afraid of change? What can take place without change? What is more pleasing or more suitable to the universal nature? Can you take a hot bath unless the wood for the fire undergoes a change? Can you be nourished unless the food undergoes a change? Do you not see then that for yourself also, to change is just the same and equally necessary for the universal nature? Receive without pride, let go without attachment. When you have assumed these names good, modest, truthful, rational, equanimous, magnanimous, take care not to lose them. If you should lose them, quickly return to them. I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinions of himself than on the opinions of others. Be content with what you are. Wish not for change, nor dread your last day, nor long for it. Consider that before long, you will be nobody and nowhere, nor will any of these things exist that you now see, nor any of those who are now living. For all things are formed by nature to change, to be turned and to perish, so that other things in continuous succession may exist. In a word, if there is a God, all is well. If chance rules, do not also be governed by it. So, look for the best and be prepared for the opposite. Whatever happens is wholly natural, not novel or hard to deal with, but familiar and easily handled. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. The flourishing life cannot be achieved until we moderate our desires and see how superficial and fleeting they are. No man is free who is not master of himself. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Whoever does not regard what he has as most ample wealth is unhappy, though he be master of the world. When your thoughts, words, and deeds form a seamless fabric, you streamline your efforts, eliminating worrying and dread. It's time to stop being vague. If you wish to be an extraordinary person, if you wish to be wise, then you should explicitly identify the kind of person you aspire to become. If you seek truth, you will not seek to gain a victory by every possible means. When you have found truth, you need not fear being defeated. Let silence be your general rule, or say only what is necessary, and in few words. Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Although we can't control which roles are assigned to us, it must be our business to act our given role as best as we possibly can, and to refrain from complaining about it. Wherever you find yourself, and in whatever circumstances, give an impeccable performance. First, learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak. Nothing great is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time, let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. People are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them. Sometimes, even to live is an act of courage. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future, not to amuse ourselves with either hopes or fears, but to rest satisfied with what we have, which is sufficient, for he that is so wants nothing. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he is not. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. All cruelty springs from weakness. There is no easy way from the earth to the stars. Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire. Hang on to your youthful enthusiasms, you'll be able to use them better when you're older. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. It is not that we have so little time, but that we lose so much. The life we receive is not short, but we make it so. We are not ill provided, but we use what we have wastefully. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. He who is brave is free. What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. If you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person. No man was ever wise by chance. Until we have begun to go without them, we fail to realize how unnecessary many things are. We've been using them not because we needed them, but because we had them. They lose the day in the expectation of the night, and the night in fear of the dawn. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary. I shall never be ashamed of citing a bad author if the line is good. Only time can heal what reason cannot. Ignorance is the cause of fear. Putting things off is the biggest waste of life. It snatches away each day as it comes and denies us the present by promising the future. The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today. You are arranging what lies in fortune's control and abandoning what lies in yours. What are you looking at? To what goal are you straining? The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power. Life is like a play. It is not the length, but the excellence of the acting, that matters. Wealth is the slave of a wise man and the master of a fool. Enjoy present pleasures in such a way as to not injure future ones. If you live in harmony with nature, you will never be poor. If you live according to what others think, you will never be rich. As long as you live, keep learning how to live. People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy. The sun also shines on the wicked. What is harder than rock, or softer than water? Yet soft water hollows out hard rock. Persist. If a man is to be worthy of his forebears, he must begin by showing himself worthy of life. He who fears death will never do anything worth of a man who is alive. The man who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive. Difficulty strengthens the mind, as labor does the body. When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves. Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will go on well. No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. Keep your intentions pure and your efforts deliberate. You do not control the outcomes, only your own actions and reactions. In this lies your power. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. Don't let your reflection on the whole sweep of life crush you. Don't fill your mind with all the bad things that might still happen. Stay focused on the present moment. Be content to know what you can handle, and that will be sufficient. The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing, for it demands being prepared to stand firm and resilient against unexpected blows. Don't hope that events will turn out the way you want. Welcome events in whichever way they happen. This is the path to peace. Nothing is worth doing pointlessly. Each action should have a purpose, guided by reason. When you take on a task, do it as if it were the last action of your life. Give it all of your energy and attention. If you can find nothing in your life that needs correcting, examine again. We always have some vice lurking that could be mended. Self-improvement is a journey without an end. Whenever someone wrongs you, ask yourself at once, what fault of mine has led to this? This will keep your reactions in check and lead to growth, not resentment. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Therefore, guard accordingly, and take care that you entertain no notions unsuitable to virtue and reasonable nature. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Expect the worst, and you can only be pleasantly surprised, never bitterly disappointed. To live is to suffer, to survive is to find some meaning in the suffering. He who lives in harmony with himself, lives in harmony with the universe. The obstacle in the path becomes the path. Never forget, within every obstacle, an opportunity to improve our condition. Remember, it is not things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about these things. You are not your body and hairstyle, but your capacity for choosing well. If your choices are beautiful, so too will you be. Every event has two handles, one by which it can be borne, and another by which it cannot. Choose to bear it by the handle that makes it easier. Learn to be indifferent to what makes no difference. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books each day. The one who puts the finishing touches on their life each day is never short of time. Do not indulge in dreams of having what you do not have, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave them if they were not yours. What you seek lies within yourself. Tranquility comes when you stop caring about what you cannot control. Attach yourself to what is spiritually superior, regardless of what other people think or do. Hold to your true aspirations, no matter what is going on around you. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Is your cucumber bitter? Throw it away. Are there briars in your path? Turn aside. It is enough simply to remember that the pain is temporary and the choice to react with peace is yours. Nothing happens to any man that he is not formed by nature to bear. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. The good or ill of a man lies within his own will. While we wait for life, life passes. No one can harm you unless you allow it. To understand the true meaning of life is to realize that life itself is a gift, and to be conscious of our role within it is where our greatest potential lies. Therefore, guard your inner spirit with vigilance. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Each obstacle becomes a chance to refine your character, to grow in resilience and wisdom. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden. A quiet spirit turns adversity into a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. True wealth is found in simplicity, where fewer desires free the mind. Do every act of your life as though it were the last act of your life. This awareness brings mindfulness to the present, knowing that each moment matters. Nothing is worth doing pointlessly. Engage in things that bring you growth or serve a meaningful purpose. In triviality lies wasted time. Time heals what reason cannot. But reason guides us through what time alone cannot fix. Use both. Let time pass, but let your mind steady you. There is no good or bad, but only perception. Events are neutral. Our judgments color them with meaning. Shift your perception, and you shift your reality. He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary. Don't borrow troubles from tomorrow, deal only with today's burdens. Associate with those who are likely to improve you. Choose friends whose presence elevates your virtues, and avoid those whose influence dulls them. Fate leads the willing and drags along the reluctant. Embrace your circumstances, and they will guide you. Resist them, and they will still carry you forward, but with unnecessary struggle. Be like the cliff against which the waves continually break. It stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. Let your inner strength withstand life's trials with calm dignity. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Clinging to externals, fame, wealth, or pleasure places your happiness in the hands of fortune. Look within. Within is the fountain of good, and it will bubble up if you forever dig. All the peace, strength, and wisdom you seek lie within yourself. He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive. Fear of loss paralyzes action. Accept the inevitable, and live fully. Most of what we say and do is unnecessary. Simplify your actions and words. Concentrate on what truly matters, and discard the trivial. Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them. Alter your perspective, and the disturbance fades. Throw away your book, stop letting yourself be distracted. Be mindful of the time you devote to learning versus the time you spend applying what you've learned. No great thing is created suddenly. Patience is key to any endeavor. Just as a tree takes years to grow, so too does your character require time and nurturing. It is a rough road that leads to the heights of greatness. No man reaches excellence on a path free of challenge. The rougher the road, the greater the triumph. If you want to improve, you must be content to be thought foolish and stupid. True growth often comes with a temporary loss of face. Accept it as part of the journey. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things which lie beyond our control. Control your mind, and the rest becomes irrelevant. Don't hope that events will turn out the way you want. Welcome events in whichever way they happen. This is the essence of peace. The goal of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. Think independently. Do not be swayed by popular opinion. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Vision precedes action, but action must follow swiftly to make the vision real. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Live your values every day, and let others see them in your deeds, not just your words. The greatest power is often simple patience. The ability to endure hardship, to wait out a storm with calm, can surpass any fleeting strength. Don't allow yourself to be ruled by emotions, but also don't seek to eliminate them completely. Understand them, guide them, but never let them control you. To live a good life, we have the potential for it. If we learn to be indifferent to what makes no difference, focus only on what truly impacts your character and well-being. We must undergo a hard winter training and not rush into things for which we are not yet prepared. Strengthen yourself steadily and face challenges with preparation, not impulsiveness. To make the best of the things that are in our power, and take the rest as it naturally happens. A Stoic accepts both responsibility and fate, acting on the first, accepting the second. The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing, for living calls for one to be prepared and stand firmly in the face of sudden changes. The universe is transformation, life is opinion. Everything is fluid and ever-changing, but how you think about those changes is entirely your choice. Remember that you are an actor in a play of such a kind as the author may choose. If short, act in a short play, if long, in a long one. Whatever role you are given, play it to the best of your ability. To live happily is an inward power of the soul. It depends on what you nurture inside yourself, not on external conditions. Choose not to be harmed and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed and you haven't been. Pain and offense are often matters of perception. Do not indulge in dreams of things you do not have, but rather reflect on the blessings of what you do have, and how you would miss them if they were not there. It is not events that disturb people, but the judgments they make about them. Challenge your judgments, and you change your emotional response. No one can lose either the past or the future. How could anyone be deprived of what they do not possess? Only the present moment is truly ours. These ideas emphasize Stoic endurance, patience, and the cultivation of inner peace despite external chaos. Living with intention, resilience, and accepting fate with grace are central to the Stoic way of life. The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy. Instead of reacting with anger or bitterness, rise above and demonstrate virtue. Responding with wisdom disarms negativity. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength, Focus on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and responses. A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. Measure your aspirations carefully, for they shape the person you become. Aim high, but let those ambitions reflect virtue, not vanity. Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. The loss of calm is often more damaging than the original offense. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Your mind shapes your character. What you dwell upon becomes a part of you. So choose your thoughts carefully. Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together. Do so with all your heart. Accept and appreciate both the circumstances and people in your life. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor. Wealth lies in contentment. Those who always seek more are perpetually in need, no matter how much they have. Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. Actions speak louder than words. Live according to your principles, and let others see your philosophy in practice. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Skill and strength are refined through challenges. The harder the struggle, the greater the triumph when you overcome it. No one is so busy that they cannot make time for what truly matters. We often say we are too busy, but that's a choice. Make time for the important things in life, and prioritize wisely. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Change how you perceive a situation, and its power over you will diminish. Difficulty shows what men are. In moments of hardship, a person's true character is revealed. Face trials with courage, and let your virtue shine. He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. Purpose gives meaning to suffering, and with it, you can endure anything. Find your purpose, and it will guide you through adversity. To be even-minded is the greatest virtue. Maintain your composure in all circumstances. A balanced mind is a fortress against both misfortune and fortune's whims. Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. Trust that your present capabilities will be enough for tomorrow's challenges. The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting. Obstacles are opportunities in disguise. They force creativity and growth. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Don't wait for fortune to favor you. Prepare diligently and seize the moment when it arises. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Without a clear direction, opportunities are meaningless. Know your purpose, and circumstances will align in your favor. Don't lament the passing of days, for each moment lived with virtue is a treasure. Life is not about quantity, but the quality of the moments you fill with meaning and integrity. No man is free who is not master of himself. True freedom comes from self-discipline and mastery over desires and emotions. Remember, you have been criticizing yourself for years, and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. Self-compassion fosters growth far more effectively than self-criticism. Treat yourself with care, but never pamper yourself. Practice moderation in all things. Excess leads to weakness, while discipline builds strength and character. Other people's views and troubles can be contagious. Don't sabotage yourself by unwittingly adopting negative, unproductive attitudes through your associations. Be mindful of the company you keep. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Anticipating misfortune often causes more distress than the actual event. Focus on the present, and don't let fear of the future rob you of today's peace. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the moment and make it perfect. Instead of seeking ideal circumstances, use what you have and create something meaningful out of it. A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Adversity is essential to refining your character. It polishes your rough edges and reveals your inner strength. To be stoic is not to be emotionless, but to remain unaffected by emotion. Experience emotions, but do not let them dictate your actions. Cultivate detachment from feelings that cloud your judgment. Wealth and fame are fleeting, wisdom and virtue endure. Pursue what is lasting, not what is transient. The riches of the soul outlast all material wealth. Consider frequently the connection of all things in the universe. Everything is intertwined, and every event has its place in the greater whole. See yourself as part of this interconnectedness. Do not wish for things to happen as you want them to, but wish for them to happen as they do, and you will go on well. Accepting reality as it unfolds brings peace. He who seeks wisdom is already wise. The desire to grow and learn is the first step on the path to wisdom. Pursue it with humility, knowing that the journey is never-ending. Attach yourself to what is in your control and detach from what is not. Anxiety arises from trying to control the uncontrollable. Focus your energy only on what you can influence. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Events themselves are neutral. Your reaction defines the experience and its impact on your life. Each day provides its own gifts. Be mindful of the small blessings and moments of grace in everyday life. Gratitude transforms even the mundane into something beautiful.